Breaking news. Prince Harry wins big in lawsuit against Associated Newspapers Limited. Prince Harry was seen patting his chest in front of the Montecito estate and shouting, "Won the case." This act of the Duke attracted dozens of reporters in Santa Barbara. Reportedly, Harry won with appropriate compensation from Associated Newspapers Limited after suing the newspaper for defamation of his legal claim. In early February this year, Associated Newspaper Limited, aka A&L, released a newsletter titled "Exclusive: How Prince Harry Tried to Keep His Legal Fight with the Government Over Police Bodyguards." Just minutes after the publication of A&L reached the audience, Harry's PR apparatus quickly carried out legal proceedings against the newspaper for baseless defamation. The dispute took place from February until yesterday. The U.S. court ruled that Harry had successfully accused A&L of fabricating his legal actions. A&L has meaningfully that Harry lied about the security incident that took place in July 2021 and accused him of having a treacherous conspiracy with the government. Although A&L's claims claimed that the allegations were not of a defamatory nature, in the end, Harry's lawyers were able to present strong evidence against A&L's denial. No matter how complicated the struggle has turned out, Prince Harry is partying in the U.S. with Meghan and 2 children to celebrate this victory. Experts believe Prince Harry will likely see this as leverage for a major lawsuit between him and the British government. Recently, Harry's lawyer Shahid Fatima QC accused Queen's Secretary Edward Young of not performing his royal duties. Edward is said to have failed to convey Harry's arguments for patronage of security to the RAVEC Executive Committee for the Protection of Royalty and Public Figures. According to the court's argument, Edward Young will most likely be accused of serving Harry's protective status. When Raven does not approve these arguments, it seems that the British government has a greater chance of not expecting Harry's request. This would be changed to Edward. To the tension of Harry and the Queen's Secretary, Shahid Fatima QC, this tension of the Duke has nothing to do with the lowering of their royal title in January. The court and the lawyers need to make it clear that Prince Harry is making a very clear line about convincing the Queen's Secretary. Shahid emphasized he was deprived of the opportunity to comment on the appropriateness of RAVEC's process and the involvement of certain individuals prior to the decision being made. It is arguable that if there had been a fair process, Raven would or could have reached a different decision. If Raven approved Harry's arguments, the British government could more easily accept the application. However, Edward's negligence led to many problems for this trial. Had it been followed due process from RAVEC, the case would have ended in April. It turns out that Edward Young is exactly the person Harry wanted to talk about in the royal burning interview with Today. Remember, Harry once said, "She's always got a great sense of humor with me, and I'm making sure that she's, protected and got the right people around her." He's referring to Edward, who is said to be the royals' greatest aide, but neglects his duties with the Queen's family. It seems Harry has been scrutinizing the government's harsh refusal. A spokesman for Harry revealed that the Duke was skeptical of the UK government's decision. They couldn't refuse his offer because it was supposed to be legitimate. He tried to find the knot and discovered it was Edward Young. How will the Queen handle Edward Young? It is said that Harry's harsh accusations against Edward have a purpose. He was testing the Queen's interest in him when her secretary deprived him of his royal privileges. However, there is a high probability that the Queen will not interfere in this complicated case. She is very unwell and is enjoying the rest of her peaceful time in her luxury Windsor apartment. The handling of Edward will likely be handed over to Charles, who was made regent in March. Harry's accusations against Edward grew stronger, as some sources suggested that he was trying to get revenge on Edward for refusing him and Meghan to work part-time for the royal family. It sounds absurd because Harry has never mentioned this issue to the Queen. However, keep in mind that royalty is always a mystery. You won't be able to know its full story. In this case, experts immediately theorized that Harry may have presented his idea to the Queen, but was stopped by Edward. Oh, it sounds more reasonable already, doesn't it? Perhaps someone in the royal family witnessed the conversation between Harry and the Queen, then leaked plans to work part-time to other media outlets. These conjectures may or may not happen. At least we can find a suitable reason to explain the absurd stories in the royal family. Edward Young is said to be quite unlucky when entangled in the complicated scandal of Harry and Meghan, who are said to have always had a bad plot to harm the royal family. What solution for Edward Young now? In fact, Harry could spare Edward if he helped the Duke win this case with the British government. This is unlikely, but it was for the time being the only way Harry could keep his mouth shut. This is a pretty big deal because it involves the government and the law. If Edward does not actively negotiate with the former royal couple, he may receive a miserable ending. Unfortunately for Edward, as the royal family is still working on the never complain, never explain mantra, he will not be able to speak up for his mistakes. You can see Meghan's image somewhere around Edward as he suffers from this spell. The Duchess has been embroiled in many horrific accusations within the royal family, but is not allowed to explain or complain. Meghan has recounted all of her horrifying experiences while she was alive and working in the royal environment with Oprah Winfrey. That conversation in March has been a thorn in the side of the royal family for more than a year. It formed a terrible rift between Meghan and Harry's family. Experts say that Edward may be in a similar situation if he is really wronged in this matter. What do you think about Edward Young's negligence? Did Edward really make a mistake, or did he receive instructions from some dark force? With that said, the royal family is always a mystery that no one can know the full story of. Let us know your thoughts below in the comment section. See you in the next videos. See ya.